it's funny when you look at back then you weren't looking at the whole political thing of it, right? But like it plays. I think it was the one thing the documentary misses, how much the English factor, the English versus French factor plays, as you guys were mentioning about over the city, because I mean, we're all transplants of Montreal. It wasn't, I mean, when we left, like, I know when I left, it wasn't like, it wasn't great. Like, I you know what I'm saying? I'll always love this city, but it was like, you felt like they were pushing out. If you had a different set of dreams that was not thriving with that province, you had to go. Or your dream of how you saw yourself was literally going to die before you cross the street. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, you had to go. You know, so and I think that it's funny. The Expos was like kind of like, looking back on it now, it was like a representation of that moment, right?
Yeah.
Yes. And I can't help but ask myself, you know, I didn't want to leave Montreal, right? We left, you know, because of the language police and referendum and all of that. My mom's job left, and we went with it. And I know so many people that happened to. But what's crazy is I can't help but ask myself, let's say the Expos would have stayed. I mean, come on. How much longer would it have been until politics screwed that up anyways?
Right. True.
You know what I'm saying?
Because they would have.
Yeah.
They would have.
Right.
They would have. 100%. You know what I mean? Because I mean, and I mean, I know this could be like its own show, but I'll go deeper. Like, you know, being black in, you know, West Indian, Caribbean in Montreal. And it just, like, I remember the back in the days when, you know, when Montreal Carnival was bigger than Carabana, much bigger than Carabana.
Oh, wow. There you go.
And it is like 1,000, it is like flipped. It's like a complete hard and 180 flip. You know what I'm saying? At this stage. Now you bring that up, people are like, yeah, right. You know what I mean? But I remember those days. When that was a legitimate thing. Yeah, but then everybody left. Like, there was a mass exodus. Like, I can tell you, like, I'm the last of like all of my siblings. I'm the last of 6. All of my siblings by 89 were gone. It was just me. You know, and then by the time I graduated high school, it was like I was next. I was out. Because you can just see, like, if you, like I said again, if you had certain dreams of yourself, and back then, you know, like, I was pushing to be trying to get a scholarship and stuff, that was not happening in Quebec. You know what I mean? Like I said, I know that could be its own series and its own podcast, but like, that is a reflection of that whole movement, of just that whole movement. You know what I mean? Which is sad, because it could have really thrived.
Right?
Yeah. A lot of like, I mean, so many people left, right, on that like 401 route, right? People just like exited after graduating college or CEGEP or whatever. People just like went on down to Toronto, because there, you know, the French was an asset, and then the French could never be good enough in Quebec, right? Like, if you're not, you know, it was always like, it was always going to hold you back. You had a limit. If you're Anglophone, you had a limit, and obviously if you're black, you have a limit. And so I think a lot of people took that same path and saw that, you know, the ceiling was low of where you could go. There weren't as many opportunities. And I think as well, like, the referendum had a certain impact on people, on the like finances in general of the province. You know, it impacted the economy in not a positive way, and that led to a lot of people exiting. But to that point, like, on this, that also meant like the economy was such that people didn't have that disposable income in the same way to go and support a sports team. They didn't have, they weren't putting people in the seats in that way. You're having, it's difficult to like bring in, you know, financial support from the private sector. This province, it's like, it was kind of it was not a great moment for like the economy of Quebec. And then the impact is like, when the economy is not going well, these kind of like things that people generally put their disposable income into are going to also suffer.
Yeah. No, I agree. And go ahead, PJ. Go ahead.
Sorry, Cal. No. Go ahead, brother.
No, I was gonna say that I know me and Mambo talked about this, I think, last week, about like, you know, when a team leaves a city, it actually kind of scars the city. You know what I mean? Like it leaves a scar on the city. That's like it's almost like you're not. It's like I know there's more important things, of course, in the ways of life, but like when a major sports team leaves your city, it's like you're just not.
Yeah.
You just ain't it. You ain't big enough, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's the vibe it puts on you. You know what I mean? And for a city like Montreal, like I always said, like Montreal could be, and you guys could disagree with me, but I think Montreal could be, if they lifted some of those laws and those referendums and stuff, Montreal literally could be like a top 10 city in North America easily. From just the 100%. Way of life, for like financial sector, the international flavor. You know what I mean? Like eventually, like it could be so much bigger.
Yeah.
It could, especially when you like when you go down and visit, you're walking around like, yo, this is such it's such a nice city. You know what I mean? Like it could be so much bigger, but they stifle themselves by doing that, right?
Yeah, I mean Montreal. I mean, when you go back like in time, like in the 60s, 70s, like Montreal was the spot, like over Toronto. Montreal was the spot to be. It had like a lot of headquarters were in Montreal, and those headquarters, when the first referendum happened, a lot of headquarters left and moved to Toronto because it was like more stable and more guaranteed, and you don't have these political concerns, and that it had an impact, and it slowly eroded over time, and it's been hard for Montreal to recover ever since, the whole time. I think that like. Look at what the impact it's had, like losing, when you think about losing sports teams like Quebec City and like losing the Nordiques, like that was huge, man. I went to go see who were they playing? Like, I don't remember if they were playing the Rockies or whatever, but like I went to a Rangers game. Man, just buses of Nordiques fans. Like they pick games that they go to, and they'll like come, and they came in buses of them. Just I remember like but like the Nordiques fans were like taking over part of like the Nordiques fans were taking over part of Madison Square Garden for a game, and you can feel like there's a pain there in a city that like lost itself, right? Like these people that like, I mean, I'm not gonna not oversimplify, but like, like they're like sports refugees, right? Like they're like they lost their home in a way, and they're like going to find it and literally traveling to find their home and find that place. It's it can have a huge impact on the city, massively. I think if it wasn't for the Habs, that like can you imagine if the Expos, like losing that team would totally crush the city? I think in some ways the Habs end up winning out of that, because people are like, all right, I'm still rooting for a sports team. All that energy, all that feeling, all that emotion, all that disposable income gets thrown onto the Habs.
That's right. Because look at Vancouver; they lost the Grizzlies. They still got teams, and they're Vancouver's thriving, but that's a hit. Seattle, you know what I mean, with the Supersonics, like they're still grieving over that, and it's still a big hit in the city. That's actually a basketball town. You know what I mean? And recently, look at Oakland. Oakland lost all of its sports teams.
Yeah,
all of them.
Everything.
So everything, and that is a huge hit to the economy. Like you lost the Warriors too. I mean, they're just across the bridge, but I mean that's still a wide gap.
Yeah, it's a different city. It's a different city.
Ain't in your town no more. Like that's wild.
Yeah.
So like
I think I went to. We went to one of the last games. We went to one of the last games in Oakland, the Warriors game.
Oh wow!
And it was out of control, man. Like when we left, like there was police kind of like stopping you from going in towards Oakland, and just like guiding you to the BART, guiding you to the train, and they're just like, just go. It was it's kind of crazy.
Just get back across the bridge.
Yeah. Just got to cross the bridge.
That hurts Oakland. That hurts Oakland.
Mm-hmm.
That hurts Oakland. That's what I mean. It hurts Oakland.
Don't spend your money here.
And there's such good food, and there's such good culture in Oakland. And it's like, you got like, I don't know, I'm going to throw a number out there, 40,000 people went to see the game. And like, what percentage of them are staying in Oakland to go spend their money and enjoy the culture there? They're just out.
Yeah.
You know, going across the bridge and going to San Francisco and spending all their money there.